facilities to be accredited by Philhealth. But we
Opo,
started with
if you
hospitals.
are, if say for example in 2019 you have more than 20 million that have given accreditation fees. Therefore, in 15 years time, it would amount to more than 250 million. Am I right?
Mr. Chair, Mr. Congressman, probably, sir, but we need to check because, again, as I've said, from the start, it was only the hospitals. However, the other healthcare facilities, we started accrediting them through the years lang po. Hindi po siya from the
Okay.
start natin ina-accredit.
Well, let me ask, are you saving that amount of money or are you using it?
Mr. Chair, Mr. Congressman, pakiulit lang po. Sorry.
Are you saving that? Yan ba'y inyong hindi ginagalaw o ginagamit ninyo?
Mr. Chair, Your Honor, ang pera po na nakokolekta po natin sa accreditation fee po from our HCP ay pumapasok po sa account ng Philhealth. Ito po ay one fund po tayo. Ibig sabihin po, ginagamit din po natin ito para sa pagbayad ng ating mga benepisyo po para sa ating mga miyembro po.
That is a separate funding, am I right?
Mr. Chair, hindi ko pa masyado gaano marinig po.
That's a separate fund.
Hindi po siya separate fund po, Mr. Chair, Your Honor. Isang pondo lang po siya sa ating pondo po ng korporasyon po.
Okay, okay. Meron akong natanggap na tawag nito, na message na kung totoo ito, pakisabi sa amin, no? Is it true that these accreditation fees are just being shared and divided by Philhealth officials and ExCom officials? Totoo po ba yun? Hindi. Uulitin ko po yung tanong ko. Totoo po ba na ang accreditation fees na ito ay binabahagi lamang at dinidivide among Philhealth officials and ExCom officials?
Mr.
Totoo
Chair,
po ba o hindi?
Mr. Chair, Mr. Congressman, I will ask the finance to answer because they are again the ones booking this amounts.
Okay.
Who will answer, Dr. Vargas? Sino po sasagot? Mr. Limsiaco, kindly reply to the, Mr. Limsiaco, kindly reply to the question of the Honorable Abante.
Sorry, sir. May I have the question again, sir?
Totoo po ba na itong accreditation fees na ito are being used, shared, and divided by Philhealth officials and ExCom officials?
Mr. Chair, Your Honor, sa aking nalalaman po, ito po ay in the previous years, Your Honor, ginagamit po ito, ginadivide po ito, sa ngayon po, year 2018, 2019, wala na po ito dahil sa ito po ay kasama po as part of our other income, Your Honor.
Oh, so yan po ay bahagi ng income ninyo. Anong tawag doon? Yung po ba sweldo allowances?
Ito po, Your Honor, ang ating accreditation fee po ay part ng other income ng corporation po. And
No, you were saying that you're sharing it and you're dividing it among yourselves. So what I would like to find out, what kind of income is that? Yan po ba'y allowances ninyo?
sorry po, Your Honor, hindi ko po makuha yung detalye sa ngayon kung ano nangyari po during that time. I think we need to submit a report on that na lang, Your Honor, if marapatin po ninyo. Dahil po ay...
Alam po ba ng COA ang bagay na yan?
Ni Congressman Navantes kung alam ng COA yung bagay niyan o may report ang COA tungkol sa bagay niyan.
Mr. Chair, Your Honor, ito po ay kasama po sa reporting natin sa Commission on Audit po. As
Okay,
part
thank you.
ng financial report po natin.
So, Mr. Chairman, so totoo na itong accreditation fees na ito that is now for about 15 years na binabayad would go to more than 250 million ay pinaghahatian lamang ng mga Philhealth officials and ex-com officials as part of their income.
Philhealth?
Kasama. Alam mo.
Kindly reply, Philhealth.
Mr. Chair, Your
Mayroon po
Honor,
sagutin?
ang year 2019 po, 2020 po, ang pagkakaalam ko po ay hindi na po ito part ng allowances na binibigay po sa ating mga officials po. And sinasabi ko nga po, this is already part of the other income of the corporation po.
Mr. Chair, I would like to remind our resource speakers that they are under oath.
Yes, Mr. Chair, Your Honor po.
And therefore, in this committee, you are admitting from 1995 to 2018, you have been actually using all of the fees, accreditation fees, as part of your income. And only in 2019, you have not been doing that.
Mr. Chair, Your Honor, pasensya po, hindi ko po masyado alam sa ngayon yung detalye po ng pagbigay ng accreditation po, fee po na maging allowance po siya ng ating mga Philhealth employees po or officials po. And magbibigay lang po kami ng report on that, Mr. Chair, kung po pwede po.
Ang pinag-uusapan po natin dyan ay pera to the tune of millions. Sinasagot niyo ako na hindi niyo alam. So, Mr. Chair, I would like to demand that the Philhealth official should submit to us the full detail of the fees, kung saan po ito napupunta at kung kanino napunta at kung anong klaseng income ang pinaggagamitan po ng accreditation fees na ito, Mr. Chair.
Yes, Philhealth is directed to please submit the documents as regards the fees as yung pong binanggit ng ating Honorable Abante, lahat po yan kung saan nagagamit. Kung maaari po magbigay kayo ng report ukol dito. Go ahead, Congressman Abante.
Pinag-uusapan natin kanina, nabanggit po ni Chairman Alvarado, nabanggit po ni Deputy Speaker El Rey ang tungkol sa mafia. Ano po? Ang tinitingnan ko po ito. Meron po bang participation ang ating mga regional vice presidents and head? Oo. Na sabihin po natin involved sa mafia, na involved sa mga payments and they play favorites doon sa mga healthcare institutions depending if they give favors to it.
Philhealth recognized. Who would be the person, the Executive Vice President? Yes, go ahead. Ms. Neri.
Sorry, just for the Mr. Chair, just for the info of the honorable members, EVP COO Sir Arnell is undergoing a procedure right now to replace the battery for his pacemaker. So he might be available this afternoon, but for now,
Sige po.
he's indisposed po.
So, nagkasakit na po si General Morales, nagkasakit si Mr. De Jesus.
Well,
Mr. Chair,
Opo. Siguro, ma'am, baka pwede niyong sagutin yung... yes, Honorable Minority Floor Leader Abante. Go ahead.
ibig sabihin, nagkakasakit na po sila. Ibig sabihin, isa lang po nakakaalam nun. Hindi po alam ng iba.
Dito po.
So that they could not be able to answer us, Mr. Chair.
Yes. Maybe Dr. Vargas may want to reply to the Minority Floor Leader.
Mr. Chair, Mr. Minority Floor Leader, I'm sorry for the question because I'm checking on the other questions earlier. Mr. Congressman, sir, if you can repeat po the question with regard to the regional vice presidents.
When it comes to the involvement of payments, are you playing favorites with the healthcare institutions like hospitals, dialysis centers, depending of who could be able to give favors? The only answer is yes or no.
Mr. Chair,
Go ahead.
Congressman, the policy po for our reimbursements are first in, first out. So the first claim that would come in is the first claim that will be processed. So yun po yung ating policy with regard to claims processing.
Mr. Chair, I don't think that I'm able to hear the right answer. The answer should only be yes or no.
No, sir, we're not favoring. As far as I know, we are not
No,
favoring.
you're not. No, you're not. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Now, I just would like to ask, no? There is Senator Subiri exposed a certain hospital in Davao in which Philhealth has paid more than 300 million pesos. Which is one of the highest payments among hospitals. Anybody would like to comment on that, Mr. Chair?
Go ahead, Dr. Vargas.
Mr. Chair, Congressman Abante, sir, I think what you are referring to is the hospital, which is the Southern Philippines Medical Center in Davao.
Yes. I think you heard Senator Subiri say that, isn't it?
Yes, sir. And on the IRM fund, we have, I think that is the #1 hospital, or the hospital with the highest amount of IRM that we released.
Okay. Now, ang PhilHealth, merong integrity officer. Hindi po ba?
Yes, Mr. Chair. Yes, Mr. Congressman.
Na ang pangunahing trabaho ay bantayan ang korupsyon sa nasabing ahensya at panatilihin ang integridad nito. Am I right?
Mr. Chair, Mr. Congressman, yes.
Okay. Andiyan po yung Senior Vice President Legal, no? La Rosario.
Kasama po natin si Vice President sa Zoom po, sa Zoom. Can we, Vice President Del Rosario is recognized?
Andiyan po ba siya? Senior Vice President Legal Rodolfo de Rosario. Mr. Chair, are you present?
We are checking now, Congressman Nabante. Is he there? Kanina po nakita natin. Ayan po. Go ahead.
Okay. Unang-una, I would like to ask, sino po ba ang integrity officer ng Philhealth?
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes.
Good afternoon. I'm Attorney Rogelio Pucalyan.
So, attorney, who is the integrity officer of Philhealth na ang pangunahing trabaho ay bantayan ng korupsyon?
The chair of the uh, uh, whistleblowing committee of Philhealth is Attorney Rodolfo Del Rosario, our SVP for legal sector.
Oh, so he's not there. No, you're the one answering.
Yes, sir.
Okay, where is he?
He left because he has a high blood pressure po, sir. So nag-break lang po muna siya.
Minority Floor Leader, kanina po nandyan si Senior Vice President Del Rosario. So, may sakit na sa inyo, General Morales, Mr. De Jesus, ngayon naman, high blood si Senior Vice President Del Rosario. Tama po ba? Parang lahat
Yes,
na po. Nagkasakit. Go ahead, Minority Floor Leader.
Okay, so attorney, baka mamaya ma-high blood ka rin dito, no? Okay, ito ang isa pong question ko. What policies and programs have you done to eliminate or prevent or mitigate corruption in Philhealth?
Sir, we have this integrity committee or the whistleblowing committee wherein the employees of Philhealth are and even external stakeholders are encouraged to report to Philhealth any irregularity, illegal acts, and practices of the employees and officers of Philhealth. And then the committee will investigate those complaints. Then they will issue a resolution, a report for approval of the President and CEO.
Mr. Chair, I would like to ask that the legal department of Philhealth and the integrity officers submit to us the guidelines by which they base on their job as, eliminating or preventing corruption, Mr. Chair.
Yes, sir, we will do.
Okay. All right. Now, dahil wala po dyan si Senior Vice President, perhaps you can answer this, no? Totoo ba that Ms. Attorney Del Rosario held concurrent positions in Philhealth, OIC head for Region 1 and Davao?
No, no, sir. As far as I know, wala pong concurrent positions.
Wala ba? And because of that, he is receiving compensation allowances for both positions?
No, sir.
Okay. Is it also true that Senior Vice President of Legal, Del Rosario, have been found guilty of an administrative offense?
Sir, as to that question, I have no personal knowledge. So I cannot properly answer, sir, the question.
You don't have any personal knowledge, attorney.
No,
But you are his deputy.
I was just assigned to represent him today.
Ibig sabihin, if you are assigned to represent him, you know.
Yes, sir, but as to that question, sir, I have no knowledge.
Oh. Is it true that Attorney Del Rosario filed a protest with the Civil Service Commission questioning his appointment?
Yes, sir, but I think the Civil Service Commission granted his affirmed his appointment.
Mr. Chair, I will be asking the Senior Vice President to submit to us a letter answering all of these questions.
Yes, sir.
Ang Department of Finance ay meron ding kinatawan sa board ng Philhealth.
Yes.
Na ang tungkulin ay bantayan din po ang financial health ng company. Nandiyan po ba si Treasurer Rosalina De Leon and Deputy Treasurer Sharon Almansa? Are they present in the hearing?
Comsec?
She's not present, Your Honor.
Mr. Chair, if they are not present,
Are you asking for Miss Emily Roque, Treasury Department? Is that the person?
Treasurer Rosalina De Leon and Deputy Treasurer Sharon Almansa.
Both are not present, Your Honor.
Mr. Chair, could we be able to invite them on the next hearing to be able to appear to the committee? If there's still a next hearing? Because
Yes. Honorable Minority Floor.
these persons are the representatives of the Department of Finance, whose primary job is to protect the financial health of Philhealth. They are needed to shed light to various anomalies surrounding Philhealth. We want to know what they have done before, during, and after these issues came to light. We would like to find out what have they been doing. How did all of this happen before their very nose? Because they have a lot to answer for.
Sige po, with
They
the...
appointed to these positions precisely to ensure integrity and transparency in Philhealth, Mr. Chair.
Sige po, with the request of the Minority Floor Leader, imbitahan po natin, Comsec, hindi lang po yung ating, I stand corrected, I thought it was the Treasurer of Philhealth, but you were talking about the Department of Finance. Lahat
Yes.
po na mga ex-officio members and also the chairman, which is DOH, to be present in the next committee hearing. So ordered.
Is the resident auditor for Philhealth present? Mr. Chair?
Resident Auditor, Comsec?
Sir, as of 1:45 p.m., is not yet in the Zoom interface.
No, the COA auditor was with us the last time.
May we also ask for him to appear before this honorable committee?
Minority Floor Leader, we're just checking kasi kasama po natin ang COA the last time. Nandito po ba ang COA sa atin?
Not yet, sir, but they were invited.
Yes, Congressman Nabante, we will reiterate our invitation to them. Go ahead.
Because, Mr. Chair, my reason is that if we only have the Philhealth officials, we might just be put into a go-around thing, no? It's good for us to be able to ask these other officials that are not Philhealth officials to appear because they are the ones that ensure the integrity and transparency in Philhealth. Now, per newspaper reports, the following hospitals were provided the following funds under the IRM. You have been telling us kanina, no, about the RIM. Southern Philippines Medical Center with 326 million pesos. That is the Davao-based small hospital. Davao Regional Medical Center in Tagum City with 209 million pesos. Vicente Soto Memorial Medical Center in Cebu City with 204 million pesos. Jose B. Lingad Memorial Regional Hospital in the city of San Fernando with 201 million pesos. PGH, on the other hand, got 263.3 million pesos. And PGH is a COVID-19 referral hospital, and we know for a fact that PGH is the largest state hospital in the country. We also know that majority of the cases is found in the NCR, even until now, and the Calabarzon area. And yet, its IRM is still lesser than the Southern Philippines Medical Center. Now, the question is, what is the preference all about?
Philhealth.
Mr. Chair, Mr. Congressman,
Yeah.
yes po. I think the NCR hospital represents around 20+%.
You think, before you answer, you think,
The-
why are you saying you think? You
Uh,
must say you know,
yes, sir. The
okay?
the amount released to NCR hospitals is more than the 20% of the IRM that was released nationwide, and the figures can be provided by our SVP for Finance, Mr. Limsiaco, on the proportions of the IRM released to our areas and hospitals.
I do not know why you're pointing finger to somebody else. I think that who should, Mr. Chair, the one that knows this should be answering.
Oh.
You know, we do not want that nagpapalit-palit dito para kayo nagtuturuan yan eh. So we'd like to find out. Ako, nagtataka lang ako ha. PGH, the largest hospital, a COVID-19 referral hospital, where they have the majority of the cases, you know, of COVID-19, only received 263.3 million. So in my mind, may mga preferences po dito. We'd like to find out why. So Mr. Chair, the one that is knowledgeable must answer. Not only that you begin to start by saying, I think. It's not what you think. It is what you know.
Mr. Chair, Mr. Congressman, the Southern Philippines Medical Center, which is the #1 recipient of the highest amount for the IRM, they have the highest number of reimbursements and claims filed also for 2019, which is the basis for the computation for the IRM that is released. The historical claims in 2019 po. So hindi po
2019. Yun ang basis is 2019.
yes po. So hindi po ang basis nito ay kung ilan ang na-admit na pasyente na may COVID, but rather ang basis po ng computation for the IRM is the historical claims of 2019.
I am just a simple man, Mr. Chair, and I do not actually understand what the answer that you've given to us. Now, the rest of IRM figure are National Kidney and Transplant Institute in Quezon City with 179 million, Baguio General Hospital and Medical Center with 165 million, Northern Mindanao Medical Center with 150.2 million, Quirino Memorial Medical Center with 150 million, and Eastern Visayas Regional Medical Center in Tacloban City with 146.2 million pesos. From the figures itself, this representation does not see any kind of preference or classification. So my question is, how does Philhealth handle IRM? What is their qualification? Yan po ba ay nasa Philhealth Circular of 2020-0007?
Mr. Chair, Congressman Abante. With regard to again, the computation for the IRM is based on historical claims of 2019. Pagdating naman po sa pagre-release ng ating IRM, ito po ay nakadepende doon po sa pagsasubmit ng mga requirements, particularly the letter of intent and the MOA assigned by and the memorandum of agreement assigned and approved by the President and of course by the facility. So kung sino po...
Do you have those documents?
Yes po. And kung sino po yung makakapag-submit, meron din po kaming documents or meron din po kaming data kung kailan po natin nare-receive yung mga MOA at kung kailan po nare-release yung IRM as approved.
Can you provide the committee on those data and documents?
Yes, Mr. Chair. Yes, Congressman Abante. We will provide po.
I would like to ask, Mr. Chair, that they provide the data and the documents concerning all of this IRM.
Yes, Philhealth is so ordered. Go ahead.
Okay. My next major issue ay yung tinatawag nating fund balance and reserve. Philhealth incurred.
Minority Floor Leader. Yes.
Ang sabi niyo, no?
The Honorable Abante.
Yes.
Opo. Kasi po kanina nag-agree po tayo dun sa point-by-point na discussion natin. Dito po, opo, kung papayagan po ninyo, tapusin lang po natin itong case rate, tapos dun sa funds po, balik po tayo dyan.
Sige. Okay. So I'll just go back later, no?
Yes, Honorable Abante.
Opo, sige po. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Maraming salamat, Congressman Abante. Philhealth is directed to please forward all the documents requested by our minority floor leader. Particular po, Congressman Abante, yung po sa mga accreditation fees na hiningi nyo kanina. We now proceed to the Honorable Barbers. Congressman Barbers recognized.
Nakakalungkot lang dahil yung ating mga gustong tanungin sana ay unti-unti nagkakasakit, no? And I don't know how I'm going to direct all these questions which I lined up for people who are not present in our committee meeting. But just the same, tanungin ko na lang po ng konti tungkol po dun sa usapin ng case rate, yung mga nandiyan dyan at yung mga kaya pong sumagot. Unang-una ho, para lang ho for clarification, is anyone from Philhealth can answer this. Ano ho ba yung rational o yung rason kung bakit po gumawa tayo ng sistemang ang tawag natin na all case rate system, Mr. Chair?
Anybody can answer on that.
Mr. Chair?
Mr. Paragas.
Yes, Paragas po. Mr. Chair, Congressman Barbers po. Opo, ang case rates po na ipinalabas ng Philhealth, the all case rates na ipinalabas po ng Philhealth noong 2013 really is one, to provide efficiencies, administrative efficiency in Philhealth, to answer also po to the efficiencies doon sa pagbabayad namin na ginagamit before, which is the fee for service, to provide information or easier information for the public, especially for the members, for them to know kung ano po ang kanilang benepisyo na makukuha sa Philhealth.
So, yun ho ang rason at rasyonale kung ba't gumawa kayo ng ganyang klaseng sistema?
Opo, yun po yung ilan sa mga rasyonale kung bakit po tayo nagkaroon noong ating tinatawag na Philhealth po. Primarily to shift from our provider payment mechanism from a fee for service to another one, which is the all case rate nga po. At ito po ay nakapaloob sa ating tinatawag na board resolution kung saan yes.
I know that there was a board resolution na gawing sistema po yan. Ang tanong ko lang po ay, ano ba yung rason? Ano yung rasyonal? Kasi ang sinagot mo ay para maging efficient yung pagbabayad at palitan yung fee for
Fee for service.
Before service, sir.
service. No? At ang tanong ko ulit sa pangalawang tanong, naging efficient nga ba?
Mr.
I'm
Chair,
referring, Mr. Chair, kung efficient nga ba yung pag-disburse ng pondo ng public funds ng PhilHealth?
Mr. Chair, Congressman Barbers, sa pamamaraan po ng ating tinatawag na all case rates, ito po kasi ay yung magbabayad tayo ng fixed amount sa ating mga ospital at sa ating kasama na po ang professionals na kung saan ang atin pong so ang nangyayari po dito, since fixed amount po siya, kung ang claim po for example ng ating ospital ay mas mataas, fixed amount pa rin po ang babayadan natin, which is lower than kung mataas nga po yung kanilang kiniklaim. Kung ito naman po ay mas mababa dahil fixed amount po ito, ang mangyayari po noon, babayadan pa rin po natin yung fixed amount. With regard to the efficiencies po, pagdating sa pagbabayad, naging mas madali po ito para sa PhilHealth because again, yun po kasing dati nating ginagawa sa ating fee for service ay ang atin pong claim ay iniisa-isa po natin na chine-check ang bawat lahat ng items na kung saan binabayadan po natin kung ano yung sinisingil ng mga ospital. So administratively po more efficient pagdating po sa atin. However, dun po sa tinatanong ninyo na financially ba ito ay naging mas efficient, meron po ding mga findings katulad po ng nababanggit kanina na meron po mga findings na merong maaaring overpayment. Gaya po nung sinasabi natin, kasama po sa prinsipyo ng pagbabayad nung sa case rate natin ay dahil ito po'y fixed, tayo po ay nakakapagbayad ng claims na maaaring mas mababa, maaaring mas mataas din po dun sa amount na maaaring sinisingil ng ating mga providers.
Okay. I will stop you, Mr. I forgot your name, but sorry intuin kita dyan. Kasi ang susunod ko sanang tanong sa iyo ay bago nyo ginawa itong case rate policy o all case rate policy system, ito ba ay meron bang scientific study rito o financial study na ito po ay magpapa-improve ng serbisyo ng PhilHealth? Ito ba ay magiging maayos ang disbursements ng public funds namin dito? Meron ho ba kayong gano'n? O may basihan kayong gano'n?
Meron, Mr. Chair,
Iksiyan mo lang yung sagot mo kasi nauubos yung oras ko eh. Iksiyan mo lang. Meron? Wala.
Meron pong mga pag-aaral na ginawa pagkatapos po na ito ay may patupad.
Pagkatapos may patupad. Yung bago mo mapatupad, anong basihan yun? Ginamit nyo ba yung study na yun bilang basihan para magpatupad ng ganitong klaseng sistema o hindi? Oo, hindi.
Ginamit po yon especially po sa pag-adapt ng all case rates po.
So, ang ibig sabihin, itong paglalagay ninyo ng pulisya na all case rates ay may isang basihan na scientific at financial study. Tama po ba ako dyan?
Mr. Chair, Mr. Congressman, ang atin po kasing case rate, nagsimula po tayo even mga 2004 and all, pero pa isa-isa po, nung po namang 2011, ito po ay naging 23 case rates, however in 2013, ito po ay naging all case rates na. Meron pong mga pag-aaral na nangyari, especially doon sa initial 2013 para po doon sa initial 23 para po naman magamit para doon sa 2013 case, all case rates.
Okay, salamat. Alam mo, Mr. Kung pakikinggan kita, parang dumanda yung sistema eh. In fact, kung pakikinggan ko lahat ng justification mo, it will appear na inayos nyo maayos at itong mga aligasyon ng anomalya ay purely imagination ng mga nag-allege. So, I will not belabor you on that point anymore, sir. Ang ano ko lang kasi, kung titingnan mo, no, yung mga pinakita kanina ni Chair Defensor ng mga disbursements at mga cases on different kinds of diseases and illnesses that were treated and paid by Philhealth,
Atin.
abay nakakaawa ang Pilipinas, napakaraming sakit. Akalain mo UTI, ilang daang libong Pilipino may UTI. Yung katarata, isa pang issue yan. And I'm sure marami nang tumitingin dyan sa usapin na yan, sir. Ngayon, doon nabanggit mo kanina yung posibleng overpayment, no? And overpayments or underpayments will probably not happen kung merong post-audit na ginagawa ang PhilHealth. Meron po ba kayong sistema ng post-audit?
Mr. Chair, Congressman, meron po.
Mr. Chairman, can I ask the VP for Finance to answer that?
Yes, the Vice President for Finance may reply to that. Do we have...
The post-audit on case rate
No.
packages.
Actually, it's you, Mr. Pargas, who would be answering that.
Mr. Chair, Congressman, we have the post-audit po. We also have the medical prepayment review, especially po doon sa mga kaso na nabanggit kanina ni Mr. Chair, pagdating po sa pneumonia, even UTI, acute gastroenteritis, and yun pong ating tinatawag na sepsis. Kami po ay nagme-medical prepayment review bago po ito mabayadan. Pagdating naman po dun sa nabanggit niyong cataract, kami po ay may polisiya na rin ngayon na kami ay gumagawa ng pre-authorization bago po magawa yung operasyon at may set limits na rin po tayo sa cataract per doctor. Meron din po tayo again na tinatawag na post-audit na ginagawa po.
So, how often do you have your post-audit? Kasi, bakit meron ho tayong mga overpayments?
Mr. Chair, again po, Congressman Barbers, again po the provider payment mechanism po natin allows for the payment, since it is a predetermined fixed rate na ibabayad po natin, may pagkakataon po na kung mas mababa ang claim, ay babayadan pa rin po natin yung fixed rate, pero kung mas mataas po ang claim, dun pa rin po tayo sa fixed rate magbabayad. So dito po sa ating case rates, kasama rin po ang bayad natin, hindi lang sa mga ospital, but kasama rin po ang bayad para sa mga doktor.
Okay, kasi pupuntahan ko mamaya yung dun sa issue na nag-release kayo ng funds for COVID, no? Dito muna kasi gusto ko lang maintindihan na Mr. Chair, yung sistema ng post-auditing at yung disbursement ng funds ng PhilHealth. Kasi hindi naman maliliit na amounts ito. You're talking of billions of pesos. Kaya nga nagtataka ako kung sino nakaisip itong case rate system na polisiyang ito. Because obviously, disadvantage ang gobyerno dito, especially kung ang actual fee that was being claimed by the patient is less than the case rate fee. Lugi-lugi ho ang gobyerno dito. So, kaya nga, ang una kong tanong kanina, kanino hong idea? Napaka-brilliant na idea yung case rate system na yan. At sa tingin ko, dyan ho nag-uugat itong buhay ng sinasabing mafia. So kung meron kayong post-audit system na ginagawa dyan, I would presume that you've identified kung saan-saan nyo na-release yung pondo na overpaid or overpayment, di ba? Tama ba ako dyan?
Mr. Chair, Mr. Congressman, sir, the post-audit po that we do particularly are on the services that were provided, especially kung ito po ay naaayon or tama po doon sa mga nakasulat nating existing policy para po mabayadan yung atin pong claim.
Okay, let me stop you from there. No? Now, kung meron ganon, and Doon sa report na pinakita ni Chair Defensor kanina, maraming audit findings yung COA. And some of your disbursements and some of the policies that PhilHealth implemented was flagged by COA. Di ba? Tama ko? O ngayon, sino ngayon paniniwalaan natin? Ano? Finlag nga kayo ng COA, bakit tuloy-tuloy pa rin yung sistemang yon?
Mr. Chair, Mr. Congressman, yes po. Katulad po ng findings na nabanggit kanina ni Mr. Chair, yung pong requirement ng ating Statement of Accounts, yan po ay naibalik na at nasunod na po natin pagdating doon po sa sinasabi ng COA na dapat ay nire-require po natin yung Statement of Accounts. Pagdating naman po doon sa finding na tinatawag na we should be paying lower than the kung ano po yung sinisingil na actual amount ng ating ospital aligned with the principles po ng ating case rate. Kami po in 2017 ay nagbigay na rin ng proposal sa ating board with the options to, one, the status quo, second is to pay whichever is lower, at ang pangatlo po is tiered payment. Pagdating po dito. And however, during that time po, ang naging decision po ng ating board is actually on a tiered payment. Hindi po
Mr. Vargas, let me cut you. Mabilis lang ha. Ang DOH 2017, 500,000 cases lang. Sa inyo, 700,000 cases. At 15,000, yung tinatanong ni Congressman Barbers, 15 billion ang binayaran nyo na hindi totoong may pneumonia. That is already plunder. With 3 billion pesos overpayment. The year before that, ganun din. The year after that, ganun din. So, hindi pwedeng itago ito ng basta-basta. Congressman Barbers, you may continue.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Tama. Yun nga po yung gusto kong ipunto, no? And I was saying the premise kasi nga, ang next kong tanong, kung meron ho tayo na-identify na overpayment, di ba? Ano ho ba yun? Thank you na lang yun dahil overpaid sila at the doctors or the healthcare providers and healthcare institutions malas nila because they charge a much lower fee. So yung excess, sana pupunta yun. Doon na lang sa hospital yun.
Kasama po, Mr. Chair, kasama po kasi doon sa polisiya natin ng paglalabas noong case rate, yung tinatawag po natin na no balance billing. At yung no balance billing naman po, ito naman po ay para sa mga pasyente or dependent na mga ospital na kung saan ang babayadan din lang po ng Philhealth would be the case rates. Pero kung ang mga pasyente po katulad nito ay gagastos ng mas malaki, doon po magkakaroon ng tinatawag na kung saan malaki yung pagkukulang, yun naman po yung dapat mag-average or tatapat dun sa sinasabi po na excess payment. Pagdating po dito, ibig sabihin, nagkakaroon po ng gain sharing para po may sasagot doon sa kakulangan naman na binabayadan. Dahil under the no balance billing po, ay hindi po dapat sisingilin ng kahit na ano ang ating pasyente. So, yun po nga, pangtapat po or pang average doon sa lalabas na kung saan may mga claims na mas mataas ang ibabayad natin, yun po yung dapat sasagot doon sa pagkukulang naman, doon sa pagdating sa no balance billing.
Mas lalo kong nalito, Mr. Chair, dun sa yung maliwanag. In fact, if I will believe everything that you just said, no, and your replies to my questions, people would believe that there's no problem with PhilHealth. At ito nga, ang investigation nito ay purely imagination lang. So, but that is not the reality. Kaya nga, ang ano lang, alam naman natin na maraming ano bang policy ng PhilHealth? Ano ba na kinlag yung merong nag-claim ng bayad na hospital, di ba? So you will require, what documents does PhilHealth require from the healthcare providers and healthcare institutions before they release the fund or they immediately release it?
Mr. Chair, Congressman, sa atin po sa ngayon na atin pong proseso sa pag-apply ng mga claims ng ating mga ospital, electronic po, meron po tayong mga requirements na forms. Kasama po dito yung ating tinatawag na Form 1 and Form 2. And kasama rin po yung hinihiling natin ngayon na Claims Form 4, na kung saan doon po sa Claims Form 4, nakalagay po yung mga pertinent findings, laboratories, mga binigay po na gamot, nandun din po yung history of present illness na kung saan yan po yung ginagamit natin para po magkaroon, for example, sa pneumonia ng prepayment review, yan po yung ating ginagamit as a document.
At kapag hindi naka-comply yung HCI at HCP sa mga requirements na yan, hindi kayo magre-release ng pondo.
Mr. Chair, Mr. Congressman, opo, meron po tayong tinatawag na return to hospital matapos po itong ma-validate ng ating mga adjudicators at medical reviewers. Kung may pagkukulang po o meron pong mga deficiencies, ibinabalik ito sa ating mga ospital for them to refile again. Meron din naman pong pagkakataon na automatiko na di-deny na po yung claim kung non-compliant po. Pagdating naman doon sa binalik natin sa ospital na RTH, pwede po nilang i-refile uli yun sa atin para ma-check po kung ito ay compliant na doon sa hinihingi po natin. Otherwise, kung ito naman po ay kompleto, ay ito po ay tinatawag nating good claim at ito po ay magpo-proceed to payment.
Ewan ko. Medyo komplikado yung anyway, nasa case rate pa lang naman tayo, Mr. Chair. Isa na lang, last katanungan.
Yes, last question, Honorable Barbers, go ahead.
Yung Vice President Lim Siaco, is he there?
VP Lim Siaco is recognized.
Mr. Chair, Your Honor, nandito po ako.
You're the Vice President for Finance, correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you a lawyer?
No, sir.
So you're not a lawyer. But how long have you been there sa Finance Department?
July 5, 2018, Your Honor.
2018 up to today, no? So lahat ba ng mga disbursements, payments to HCIs and HCPs, lahat ay dumadaan sa'yo?
Ang sistema po ng pagbayad natin sa ating HCI, Your Honor, is that yung claims from the hospital ay sinasubmit nila sa ating regional office, and then ang ating regional office po ang nagpa-process, and ang ating regional office po ang humihingi ng fund transfer sa ating central office sa Treasury, and ang ating Treasury po ay nagbibigay ng pondo sa ating regional office, and ang papalabas po ng pera to the HCI ay through our regional office, Your Honor.
Ang dami palang dinadaanan, kaya talagang imposibleng masayang ang pera ng taong bayan kung ganyang kahigpit, no, yung dinadaanan. May I ask, where are you from, Mr. Lim Siaco?
I am from Negros Occidental, Your Honor, pero ngayon ay nasa Tacloban po ang aking pamilya.
Okay. Were you instrumental in the release of certain funds to a hospital in Catarman?
Your Honor, mga releases natin po ng IRM sa ating mga hospital, yung first part po ng pag-release po natin ay through our regional office po, Your Honor. Later part na lang po ang ating pag-release dito sa central office starting May 1 po, 2020 po. So 88% po ng releases po natin ay through our regional office po, Your Honor.
Okay, so yun lang. Kasi gusto ko lamang po maintindihan kung ano yung role ng SVP for Finance, no, dito sa usapin ng overpayment and disbursement of funds. Kasi malaking bagay ito dito sa investigation ito. So, Ikaw naman ay nagpahayag ng iyong willingness, no, to sign the waivers sa bank secrecy, di ba?
Yes po, Your Honor. I signified po and open po yung aking bank account para po mabusisi po at saka makita po kung anong laman po.
If the scrutiny of your account extends to your wife and your immediate family members, okay lang din sa'yo yun?
Ang aking po ay ang aking asawa po at saka yung sa akin po ay po pwede po makita po ninyo po.
Okay. Sige, okay. At least para lang malinaw kasi dapat pag ganyan ang attitude, yan ang dapat ginagaya ng iyong mga kasamahan. No, na walang tinatago at open yung kanilang mga bank accounts hanggang sa kapatid, hanggang sa ano siguro. Depende na lang kung paano imbestigahan ng Anti-Money Laundering Council. So, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I will reserve my questions for the
Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Honorable Barbers. Before we proceed, quick interjection by the Honorable Fernandez. Before that, may we ask someone from Philhealth to check what has happened to General Morales, Executive Vice President De Jesus, and Senior Vice President for Legal, Attorney Del Rosario. Were they rushed to the hospital? Are they sick? Will they be coming back to our Zoom? Babalik po ba sila at makikasama at sasagot sa mga katanungan? Kung maaari pong pakiusapan natin yung mga kasama natin dito sa Philhealth. Quick interjection, go ahead, Deputy Fernandez.